Okay, now, not now. I mean, it works even better than this, because if it was only one person. So look, what's the classical issue in such situations? So if you are well, you know, what's the first well, always persistent attempt of takeover of adversaries in such situations? Well, on monogamous couples, and only monogamous couples are going that far in such situations. So that's always, you know, so this is just like standard scenario, and that's one of the reasons why we are maintaining rumors about polygamy, about, you know, all this group sex and everything, which are false in most cases. Well, in cases of those who are willing to go that far, they are always false, because well, you know, if in such situations that I described, if you would try to well, if I had to well, you know, switch on line with Billy, for example, then you would claim that she has well, then you would start destroying her. Well, you know, she's right now, well, she is already under pressure. She was already, well, she has been already since autumn, and actually much earlier. And then you would just flipped, well, that's why I started to explain why there's this overheated and what it means and how we calculated those branches in a very obvious way, because you're a naive idiot. Well, indeed not very smart person, rather stupid person, Andrei Bogdanov, who has no real power. Well, except that he is communicating directly with Putin, and then he is communicating directly with branch of Masons here, and that's like with Telegram, you know. So what they are doing? He was so look, right now somebody will come to me, will try to distract me and everything, because, you know, you are very numerous, because you are having very low level of your capabilities. So basically everybody wants to be somebody. And okay, look, I remember some, well, it should be in your data, Milonov, I guess. He well, and that's obvious, self-attack, because look at his face of this Milonov. That's just the same level, the same way of thinking, the same, well, pretty much like most of you. That well, he made absurd attack on Masons. Well, absurd because they don't have real power, but they are very numerous, you know, and they are, well, I told you this, we already discussed. We will not be discussing this again, because I will waste this time actually for my family, which is my Taylor Swift. So look, he made absurd claim, and then Bogdanov started threatening him in a particular way. So look, this branch is always well calculated in all possible ways. Why I said about Billy? Because if I just switched on Billy, then you would say that, well, okay, you are controlled there, well, not by this one, but by this one. But she's controlled either by UN or by Putin or anything. Well, you know, so then, well, there is Katie, well, my friend, very, very good friend. Well, friend, but very long-term friend, to whom I trust. Well, you know, she's very, very, well, she is friend, but she's very, very good friend, and very long-term friend, and very close friend, as you can understand, Katy Perry, who knows me very well. Well, not as well as my wife, but well, almost the best among all other friends. And but there is already takeover from UN, because she became some ambassador or anything. No, there is no takeover from Musk, absolutely. Actually, on Kara too, because Kara, well, Kara did a very, 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 well, you know, this was play on a very, well, that's my style, actually. To, well, you know, as they say sometimes, this is not absolutely correct, and we look, me and my wife, actually, we like, well, my wife Taylor Swift, we prefer to do everything much ahead of time and prepare it ahead. And as you see, many ways, many things that are destroying you now, they were prepared like 2 decades ahead and even more than this. Some even 3 decades ahead. And yes, we were, well, at least I was preparing them myself. She didn't yet 3 decades before. But ultimately, when things are not going the way you could predict, you know, if you have like free resources and sense of time, or then you are underdoing something. Well, you know, look, optimality, that's very easy to understand for economists, for example. So that optimal economy, it's always acts, well, every competitor acts on the very edge of his possibilities, you know. Well, this is not the bad, look, it's just, well, you should be able to understand what I mean. And Kara with this car, she did exactly this. She crossed, well, you know, she walked a very, very, very edge, but she walked it. She didn't fall. With this car call. I already described it, it's quite complex. So to whom I can then switch, you know, so there's, okay, Katie. And with Katie it's pretty much trivially to do because she just knows me very well. Not as well as my wife, but quite well. But there's attempt of takeover or from UN. Okay, then we go to Kara. Well, actually, Kara is, well, you know, after she just cut off all the rest, and she cut them off. You can disagree, but it will mean nothing because she did it. Yeah, so we can, then I can, you know, switch there. And while I will be doing all this incredible things, well, those of my allies who are actually can and are on, well, you know, on a deal, want to win, want to continue their terms or receive something else, they will be able to calmly continue doing their, well, all necessary operations. While we will be playing this funny game, okay, so he has wife, but who is his, well, you know, like second lover except his wife? Okay, well, oh, so there's a bunch, okay. And now, and you know, at some particular point, if you can say about, well, you can start using then this lie with polygamy, because this is a lie. Because nobody who is willing to go that far is polygamous, but, well, you can say that it was a lie, because people are lying, you know, all people can lie. There is no such thing as, well, you know, it's something that you want to believe in. This is the same as with scheme and slave, as with, well, this my or abandoned, well, in your imagination wife, who is, I don't know, who is going through some terrible things, absolutely alone, absolutely cloned, kidnapped, and, well, at least she is not going through them, because if she was, you would be dead already. All your Andrei Bogdanov, all your Masons here in Ukraine, you would be burned out bones, pile of bones, you know, like Rob Zombie singing. Actually a normal guy, good guy. Well, I referred him and I said that he is under our protection. So you would be dead, you would be just not even, well, I know what would be left from you, from all Masons of Ukraine, from all Masons of United States too. There is such charge that it will, well, you know, it will get through and it will kill most of you. But of course such things then going to be started a little bit ahead of time, because, well, you understand those motherfuckers, they, as I said yesterday, and I said it much earlier, that look, so basically the thing is that when I'm saying to prepare to something, you don't even know what exactly I mean. When I say to prepare, for example, for my Japanese friends, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm saying it to Japanese friends. It could be somebody else, you know. It's like when I'm saying, when I made this photo with those glasses, well, you know, 16 or 17 days ahead before you did it, tried to do it, you saw that, it's probably for natural born killers. Maybe, but why would I be, well, you know, like building another reference? Well, I referred, I can't yet refer him, but Oliver Stone is under our protection. And pretty much, or if I referred him, it stays in power. But he's under our protection, for sure. So that was this. Then, you know, as in best traditions of people who are just having fun all their fucking life, all their fucking time. Well, except when they are doing orders of their superiors. Performing. I started, well, it was really funny actually, about how to, well, that Putin and Musk need Chris Wray in their trio to, well, to do a more or less successful takeover on everything that we have. I mean, me and my wife, Taylor Swift. You know, and you were like, Meanwhile, those who are watching it closely, my people, they prepared alibi. And which kind of, well, that was reported by DNA, and she showed, oh, maybe not DNA, you know, actually, and that's a complex question. So Ophelia, no, Ophelia doesn't mean that. So look, she just, or maybe not she, pointed out that there will be some trap with my signature. But what can be a trap there if I already many times ahead said that, you know, it's actually, well, actually, yeah, I signed my birth certificate. Yeah, that happens. Well, I gave quite a lot of clues about it, and I showed you at least 3 of them. And they were given, well, actually 4, and they were given ahead of time. But, well, you know, those who know me, such people like my wife, or, well, this information, like Katy Perry, she knew it. They are, well, they just know it, and there can be no trap. So where it can be? Oh, and you know, so the thing. At the same time, when I'm saying to prepare to something, you don't know to what. Maybe I realize that we actually lost, and you know that we will be able only to go through Grace scenario. But before it, I want to shut down all your flights. Well, as you understand, for, well, using your simple reactions as he described them, you will never be able to catch me. You will never be able to understand what I will do next. You will never able to understand that when I was making this green forest, I was talking about transition from style to out of the woods, which is +1. At the same time, well, those of you who are attentive, they could notice that actually we had agreement on +1 very long time ahead, at least from Red of 2012. We had this agreement. That's very simple thing. Well, I told you that Die in a Crash, that's no, not Die in a Crash, Death and Destruction 7th song. Related obviously to me, which is pronoun, so to me, to Oleg Swift White Kharaninsky, that's always pronoun, because otherwise your life turns into fucking motherfucking circus, which is actually already your life. I mean, look, try to listen to, I bet you think about me, well, the way you listen to it, but you already do it, right? And that's the world you live in. Well, we live in another world, much better than this, and than you. So look, there is this another +1 transition, because we had this agreement a long time ahead. That's like agreement with cloning about Grudge. Well, I mean, Mass Effect, Grudge, and it seems that, well, you know, if there is at least one person that admitted that he understands that, well, you know, if Chris Wray referred words which I was saying more than a year ago, then he should remember that I at least said this. Well, I said it because this indeed was there, but you know, even if it wasn't there, then he should be able to, well, you know, imagine that it's not there anymore. But then you can recall that I said those words, and you can understand that, okay, then we, well, you know, actually no, it was there, and we had this key many years, decades ahead. Well, at least 1 decade. But well, you know, even if you will say that, oh, there is nothing, well, then you can recall my words for 15 or how many months ago, and then you will understand that, well, he said it and she just, well, referred those words. But we had this key a long time ahead, so if at least one person is admitted it, at least somehow, then this is some progress. Yeah, so that's what it is, and what I wanted to say is that you can never understand what we are really doing, what we are really saying, what we are really planning. So look, and then when you see this, when you see me doing such things for a very, very well purpose that I am telling you later, but you are unable to tell it from my simple reactions or anything else, and complex reactions, well, most of them at least. Well, you can't say anything because, well, when you are able to say anything at all. But you claim that this is, well, we already have been through this bullshit, and well, again, not to attack Jens, I explained it, but that was the reason why on one of pages I take, well, I started it using his birthday, because when I started to discuss end of small sanctuary, well, this is early spring snow, yes, yes, yes. Well, she just again repeated it, but you know, end of small sanctuary, if you will take only capital, well, you know, remove off, this will be the same, but then there would be danger of, well, again, this is not against Jens, but you know, I'm just well, in such at such time I'm alleviating all possible risks, and well, it didn't harm anybody. I mean, the fact that I took this birthday, so yeah, well, yes, Yen, yeah, SS. Then if we take, well, replace this with, well, it can be obtained yen, well, ESN, like, you know, like yens, well, yens, it's, well, it sounds at least like this, but you know, even in this case, it, well, it serves as a double confirmation, because, well, 95, well, by documents, 59, that's well, just the same but reflected. But so that you didn't say, well, maybe not Jens, you know, maybe some another of well, some supreme person in NATO would claim, look, they, okay, well, that's not United Nations, that's our program of mind control. And I was, no, my dear, I knew that you will say it. Well, you know, if somebody says that you act on his comment, and then you're saying, well, I know that you will say this, and well, look here closely. So it wasn't even about Jens, you know, so against Jens, but the same with this. So when you just understand that you cannot, well, that you can't track it, you can't understand our intentions, you can't understand what we are doing at some particular moment, that you just don't have instruments for it. You claim that this is, well, one of those bullshits, because, you know, you have them constructed in such way, so this is just a pure manipulation with language tools that they can be encountered and claimed anywhere, and we already discussed it. But, well, I need the result, I don't need those speculations. And well, you know, we had them here for a while. I told you that they finished on a moment when my wife asked me to kill the rest of her, well, of her family except me and her. That's how much your mind control costs. Well, it costs nothing. Actually, it's that's what I already explained you about, that if they were able to take on my blue whale, they would claim that now they, well, you know, they not just able to make kids to commit suicide after very long-term period of, well, by measures of, well, you know, it's not instant control, it's a long preparation of work with them. They would claim that, we can do with anybody anything instantly. Well, even F887, it works, well, it's much more powerful and it works much faster, but, well, even, well, you know, it's again about suicide, so it's, I still can't take any or almost any person and to tell him to go and kill somebody else. Well, this is where we are. This is where we want to, you know, to appear in several years. Well, if it will happen. So that's what it is. You know, those things, they are not finalized, as you can understand. They are developing even now. Well, at least in some sense. But I don't know how to explain. It's still, well, you know, we are not yet at this level of control. But if they received at least, well, but you know, it's all being developed on one on top of another. And if they were able to claim at least one part of it, at least on some, at any stage in the past, they would just jump in the future and would say, well, oh, didn't you hear or hear all those tales about that, well, you know, all possible cures are already discovered, and you know, people like well, it's well, you know, they will just refer some, well, there are those myths about that everything is already discovered, everything is already well, and you know, when you see them editing Wikipedia pages with neural receptors and putting there our data, and I like, wait, but fuck, well, it's not that I was too concerned about science, but fuck, it's, yeah, it just looks dirty, you know. I mean, some student can be writing his or, well, not student, you know, PhD can be writing something, well, actually relevant, well, but maybe then he will not be using Wikipedia, but you are not touching only Wikipedia, you are touching many things. And so you don't really care about advancement of our race. Well, but you know, they have this, so this is one of the explanations. Well, I just want to say that progress, well, it's indeed on a little bit ahead of what we have declassified, but that's easy to guess. But their claims, you know, there are such myths, of course, there are always such myths that some person comes and tells about that, you know, everything was already discovered, but we are just not disclosing it because then, well, we don't need it because, you know, there are already many of you. Then we are recalling well, all those talks of Rockefeller about birth control. So we see that what's happening is exactly the opposite. The population is growing, at least according to official statistics. How it's in reality, well, at least most of you have no idea and has no way to check it. But that's why they are there, those myths, because, you know, if they will be able to take over on my Blue Whale F57, for example, they would then, well, you know, and because this thing was developed further into, well, not only this thing, but it became a part of 887, for, well, F887, for example, and other things. They would just make this old jump that, well, you know, so this is our, and actually progress is decades and centuries ahead of the current state that you know, and actually we can control anybody at any moment, at any point of Earth, and everything then, and you know, then we are recalling all this talks about determinism, about, well, then what's the cure about from the, well, and you know, then there are those speculations, but the soul is about that you can't control events consciously. No, you can. And if somebody claims that you can't, then you should shut him up one way or another. But I'm just saying that such things, they are blocking us for a very long time, and they are just serving as the clarification. Well, you know, they serve actually, first of all, like threatening. Well, look, those threats are empty. That's like with again with Boris. So well, you know, I'm have some talks to Boris, and then I see Rothschild arrives here, and he makes those gestures, suggesting some events from a recent past, and I see Boris becoming well, you know, absolutely not friendly and very, well, how to say that, very offending in his behavior. So so he was promised that he will be protected by Rothschilds, he will be protected by buy, then buy all your united community, which actually costs nothing, because as my wife said, you are friends to everyone, so you're actually friends to no one, and you all can be dropped at any moment, because, well, you have no real power. You are all sitting inside of yourselves, and well, person from outside, and there is things outside of your fucking chamber, like me, which is pronoun, can crush you, and then you'll start to bleed for real, and that's it. So look, I mean, most of what you do are speculations. Most of what we do, actually, and we is a pronoun too, because who knows what you will be able, to. So it's just you need to understand that when person is, well, if wife of a person says such, so when my wife was saying OH, and then there's this reputation from small letter, then no, it's my initials, edit, of my name. But when person is saying about another person who is not related to him in any such possible way, well, so like, so I'm her husband, and well, Taylor Swift, oh my, in the sky, and well, so if I'm saying me, then I have no reasons to make any, well, it can be Michael, Michael Escorter. I'm sure there's, or it can be created, such person, such name can be given, Michael Escorter. Why I'm not telling them? Well, because I have no reasons to do it. Well, if I say tss, then maybe I mean Taylor Swift, most probably, because this is my wife. That's, well, that's the closest creature in this, in anything and everywhere, for me. And so it just but as I said, there are those people who already understood everything, and they understood it like many months ahead. So that's like CIA when they showed that just exit Instagram. Okay, you already did enough, said enough. Well, that was just beautiful. They are well, I hope that they are at least on, well, they should be on this, but I mean that they already like they didn't need more at this particular moment. They heard me saying that after we will finish this contest, if you will desperately want to find out something, then we can do it if you will decide to communicate in private. Well, it's not that I'm trying to access you, so it will be your desire and decision. But as you understand, those with whom we will finish this, well, I need to replace this word like contest, just because I said it too many times. As I said many times, that I need people who will, well, that's like I said to Gina Hasper yesterday. I just forgot that my old account was deleted, and well, I will find those videos. They were backed up, and there were multiple videos. I will find them, but pretty much that's well, I will do it. I will try to do it today, and to find the photo with 887 Florians, I will try to do it today. But I'm just saying that well, this is not our last run. So obviously, if some of you will want to have such conversations, then you will be fine after it. But it will be your decision, your everything. So, so he just heard it, and he then was like, well, as at least as I interpreted, because there was this, well, you needed to swipe up or something, and well, but it was almost impossible to do. There was like, I guess there was some error or something consciously didn't work, and eventually, if you try it really hard, then you just leaving Instagram. Well, I really liked it because, oh, at least one person heard me. Well, but ultimately, you know, that there are people who will never be enough because and they will be well, they won't be even acting, but even when they will be pretending that they are doing something, they will be stopping themselves on a very first speculation from of a kind of well, you know, she's controlled by some old KGB or well, China. I see China. Well, that's good. I mean, because it will be even funnier and and I'm hitting China with this thing. No, only Beijing. So I mean that well, you know, China already like this flight. Well, only Beijing. So look, there will be such people stopping themselves on a very first claim, very first speculation, and there's just like, you know, like, well, I mean, this is not even important in the end, but still well, you know, if you are, that's like with knife that can kill you. If before it cuts to your, you know, internal organs, it needs to cut through your skin and everything. So basically, and it's not necessary that this knife will be. So I'm again reminding you that this thing, well, it's not, well, it's called not Grace, but you know, it's like life monitor for Grace. It has memory, and it accumulates a number of damages, of real factual damages that was well, delivered during a particular, well, there are a set of periods. Look, it works in a very complex way because I care. And but let's get back to our conversation. So monologue. I mean that if you will allow, you know, if I will allow to make to just start such dangerous speculation, which will be looking innocent, but then it will go deeper, you know. It's like any wound is a, well, it's a way of access of so look, remember I did one bad thing to one cat, well, with my leg. That was well, another CI, though very stupid. Well, I mean that if you, but still it got somebody, you know, it got some people who started then to say that different things. So it impacted the overall picture in a way that I needed. Well, you know, my wife, she is not a cat. She's not, well, I always, well, I often call her kitten, but she is a human. Yeah, Taylor Swift. Well, what I was saying about, well, you know, I'm talking already for more than 30 minutes, and before it, another 10 minutes. But that if it starts, then it can go worse. So if today I'm letting you to make a joke that she controls you, and then and she's being controlled by some ancient Chinese program, and I'm like, well, I will not be disappointed. Well, you know, then it goes, well, then people start discussing it, and after some time they start, oh, people of action, such people as we, they are trying to look, they not even trying to, their minds work to, they are trying to use everything that is possible for their goals, and that's normal. That's the only way to exist, actually, to exist, I mean, in a way that you want. And they will start then, well, first they will laugh, then they will start trying to make some partnership, some business on top of it, and they will start discussing, you know, there will be a meeting of and well, this is something that I expect, and I Well, I recommend you not to do it, but taking into account everything that you already saw. I mean, Russia and China can try to unite their efforts and claiming something about controlling, or that, maybe they even can try to make alliance. That's the worst idea they can, not the worst, but very bad idea for them. And I will not be explaining right now why, but there are very good reasons why. This is a very bad idea for China particularly. Alliance, and then to say that there is not GRU or KGB and some Chinese intelligences that actually have names too, but they are joint, and and she controls me somehow. Not just like my wife, but wife in sense of that, wife whom I really love, but in some additional way, and she's being controlled by some there. You are. This is a topic that is very easily to speculate on, because when person has some, let's say, this modifications which are intended to, for example, monitor her state in a very comprehensive way, as with Grace, and not only, then you can say that, so that's like, so she's not quite human, she's having some, those who are with prostheses, again, yeah, that's very good argument. Then you can say that they are not humans too, because it doesn't matter. You claim that so she's like a robot, so she can be controlled. Robot, and then this how it's called, I forgot how it's called in English. You understand. And it's never ending story, for real, as long as you are alive, at least. That's why this is the most and ultimately the only way to shut your fucking mouths. I mean, this is about power in the end, but and about people understanding what is going on, because it's always possible in future to try to take over everything from us, because again, it's like with connect goddamn dots. They are already connected. Connect them in a formal way that can be used in a court. I will not be doing it, because then you will not be able to make those deals with people who want to stay on, legal side. Then we will try to take everything from you. So you don't want to connect dots formally. You don't want to give us power against you and your wife, and then many of your friends. This is a way to lose all this, because my wife is with me to the very end, and she's and I'm with her. But our best friends still, they have their families, and if they will see that I'm connecting dots in such way, and I have, I will not be doing. And then they will be abandoning us. So basically, as I said, what Mark and Mazeri tried to do is a very, very, very big attack. That would be. If you just think about all consequences of it. Even if of not doing it completely, but starting to do it. We are talking about that I shut down flight. I infected a lot of people. I, played with governments in several countries and all those stuff. Now imagine if I will be if I will start connecting. It will be impossible then to make any alliance with, for example, Trump. He will be running from us as from, actually from blight or leprosy. France will start abandoning us. So basically, or will start working against us. There will be some, I don't want to say FBI agent right now, but Secret Service agent, let's say this. Because, time is, clocks are ticking, but, time is not yet up. But they will come to Billy, for example, and Billy is well, young girl, and well, you know, she has her own story, which is very strongly entangled with us, because she admitted that she is a raiser of my wife. And oh girl, wow. Okay, but you said it, and okay, let's be friends for real. But you know, they will then will be able to come and say that, look, so they are a step before we will take them down in a formal way, you know. So you know, they will just as I said, they would put her clone in a jail, whereas her real one, she would be for real forever lost. And so okay, we know that you would maintain with them contact for a very long time. Well, you know, they would say, actually I believe they already did it, but well, up to this moment and in all future moments, it will be always absolutely stupid, empty speculations, because we know how much recognition of those people costs. So we already connected dots, but in such way that we consider appropriate. Well, you know, our rules. But if we started to connect them in a way that can be used in a court, well, you know, you are communicating so much and interacting with. So basically, you know, it's like with Chrome. I mean, Google is Google. Billy can't. Well, no. Look, that's a separate topic. But Billy can't well, refer Google, because this is a giant entity that, and she's just one girl. But she just said that she knows about well, my 2 day of birth. And well, and that this is another way to organize spiral. Basically, I have spirals everywhere, because 669, that's exactly the way to write another way. Well, spiral in one more way. That's why I, well, you know, I just like this a lot, and it appears everywhere. So this is not quite a, well, 666 is hider, right? But 669, this is a spiral. And well, you know, so you interacted with them for now. The only way for you, well, and if you will not be doing it, well, you know, this is like I said about well, what I was doing. I know how intelligent, look, I know very well how intelligence works on all levels, and the most primitive way is to try to take down people like they, look, my wife, she was cloned, kidnapped, impregnated, but even if you are just a random observer, look at her activity during this year up to the end of August. 16 or 17 times less posts than on average. Those cuts, and they were not even hiding. Well, if you recall her face back then, and well, when she's showed this 1938 photo, why it's so, well, you know, actually, well, so person had to let another person to do it. Maybe he, what if he, well, if he cut her throat, we would be dead already. But well, you know, you just, that's the thing that I don't even have to warn you about it. Such things, they just must not happen at all. Well, that must not be happening at all. But second tragedy is that they set her to, well, go on a public event like this, let everybody see it. And that's, well, they just wanted to show everybody how protectorless she is. Well, I showed it, how protectorless she is. And I'll show much more till it, well, you know, because I know you, I know that you are, well, you know, it's impossible to, that's just your nature. Well, as long as you are alive, you will be trying to take us down for even not having any reason. Just this is, well, I can distinguish people with whom I can make peaceful agreements to say that, hey, you are going your road, we are going our road. Don't try, well, you know, this is like at the end of one of, I guess, second Expendables, right, or something like this. So he was like about to let main antagonist to, hey, look, I will just go over, oh, that's pretty much reminds this, well, with Kai Leng it was different, but you know, Kai Leng also, he was almost dead, but not dead yet, and then he tried to stab
Shepard. Oh yeah, there was such character. Look, Mass Effect safe. That's our thing. You can use it. It's safe to use. Well, he just put a lot of efforts to claiming that it's his stuff, but it's like, you know, like with Robzone. Well, no, it's not always the same, like, but this is pretty much close to it. So he tried to stop him, but well, Shepard reacted and, well, finally killed him. So that's pretty much like, but no, this is another story, but this is related to the moment of cloning. Why I still can't show it to you? Because all versions of games that I'm downloading, you know, they are repacks and they are organized in such ways that there are no open access to soundtrack of, well, to music of this game. Well, I downloaded files of sounds from some downloader prepared ahead, but you know, there is no music files. There are just those short sounds, and when somebody shuts, and you know, it lasts like 4 seconds or something like this, or 5 or 6 or 3 or 2 or 1. And but eventually, so basically I need to download, you know, some license, even without those cracks, tablets and everything that, well, you know, allow to play in protected from pirates game. Well, so I just need a copy of original license, which I will not be able even to play, but with open access to those files. Well, I guess that eventually I will do it, but if well, at least somebody of you, well, I guess all of you, they remember what I was saying about a year ago. That's already enough. Well, it really was there. Well, it really should be there, but well, okay, but this is not the same situation. I mean that like Windows Expendables, so he was like, hey, look, I'll just go away and you do nothing, let me go away and you'll stay alive. And he was like, yeah, okay. And well, just he started to, you know, rotate his body to go away, and well, then this main antagonist still, he tried to stab him in the back, to kill him, not to let him go away. And then, well, he finally finished, I mean, main hero, one of those Expendables. I don't remember which one, I guess Sylvester Stallone, actually. And by the way, well, Dolph Lundgren, and well, I will re-follow you. Look, so yeah, that's what. Yeah, family is indeed the most important thing, and each of us has his own family. And that, well, but I absolutely agree with you, and my family, well, you know who this is. Well, 2 people actually, me and she, but yeah, in such sense, family is indeed the most important thing. So I know, well, I can distinguish people with whom I can say that, okay, look, I'll just go away and you don't. Well, you know, that's like the ending of Second Silence of Lambs, which is chronologically the last one. At least among movies, at least that I remember. Well, that's not exactly Dancing with Our Cats Tied. Well, I gave you functional interpretation through 2220. She reminded one of ways we had sex. Well, have. And and well, one of her fans suggested another. Well, recall ending, so Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, he had a choice to cut off his hand or hand of Clarissa. Well, he chose to cut off his hand. So that's pretty much similar situation. Why he did it? Because he, well, I don't remember. Well, maybe he put her unconscious, I don't remember this. But I mean that he knew that she will leave him in peace. Well, you know, in peace here doesn't mean those peace in, well, you know, this is very overloaded word, actually a very scary word, but you understand that she will let him go. Well, I know such people, how to distinguish people with whom I can say that, well, just don't follow us and you will be fine. And with whom I can say that. And I know that most of you are from the second kind. So, you know, I already claimed you, well, not claimed, but I explained you that with Putin it works in most cases that he is using people as long as they can be somehow used by him, as in his opinion. It doesn't mean that they are in any way subordinate to him. It means that he sees them somehow related to his, you know, to his schemes, plans, because he has some expectations from people. And they are quite poorly determined. So why I don't have illusions about him? Because I saw him making mistakes, fatal mistakes, again and again. Jack, remember this girl from Mass Effect 2? She said this thing, well, that I later repeated, because this is, well, related to many people in the world. So basically, the less people in the world will be left, the higher my chances to survive. This is not my philosophy, and that's why I keep saying that those who will help us in the story to find my kidnapped, cloned, and impregnated against her will, by force, wife Taylor Swift, they will not be just fine, they will be, well, we will move together forward if you want. Well, you know, like I already explained that it's not even about preservation and continuation, but it's about expansion too. But also you will definitely will not be, well, you will be absolutely satisfied and you will be happy about doing it in normal sense of this word. I mean that you will not regret it, and not because you will be brainwashed or anything, but just because you will be in absolutely your normal state, and you will be able to say to yourself that, yes, well, I'm glad about that I did it. Well, if I didn't do it, everything would be much worse than that. Not in the sense that I will damage you otherwise, but I mean that you will be happy that you did it, that you're with us, let's say this, in this story. There is no second scary meaning in my words, because we are talking about my wife. Yeah. And well, well, eventually we will have to go there, you know, but it's quite, well, that's quite complex branch. Maybe that's not, but let's start developing it, okay. Remember, okay, 2012, born Villain, underneath the path of misery. Listen to his start. Compare now to the final word of American Psycho movie. And no, this is not what I want to say to close this. But you know, that's, well, enemy has to work on something. Those with whom we made deals, don't work on this. Then it will not help to find you my wife. If it could help you to find my wife, I would say, well, you know, it's the same as knowing that Archaeontiatropus is my symbol, well, at least in majority of cases, because, you know, that's still a live insect, because, well, and knowing that it means not just nuclear weapon and one of the silent branches, but something else, it's not helping you to find my wife. It's not, and, you know, this is like that I'm saying you that, oh, you know, I have 1,000 of nuclear warheads and showing you this. Okay, but you said that you have them. Okay, then I'm showing you, well, you know, there are 1,000 more. And I'm, so you have 2,000. Okay, and well, how it helps you to find my wife? No, it's not helping you. So that's pretty much the same, but the enemy is trying to delay us, and he needs, you know, he is living in speculations in major Well, because you know, motto of the enemy. Well, that's pretty much my motto too. About doing things via hands of other people, but well, the difference that if things are not working in such ways, then I can do it in via hands of, well, my, well, I mean not via control, but via my own hands. Let's say this. Enemy, no, he works on speculations. He works. No, I mean that's why we are talking about cutting hands, because without hands, enemy ultimately, if you cut off all his hands, he will not be able to do anything. Well, at least almost anything. That's the difference between us, and for this he needs well, speculations, and I'm using those speculations to hurt him. Well, to hurt you if you are one of my adversaries, and that's pretty much for sure like this. That's like with those, well, you know that with rumors about that she's cheating on you. No, she's not. Oh, you cheating on her. Well, no, I'm not, but I can pretend that I do, and then all your attempts to, well, you know, if I switch to, well, you all must understand we made very clear deals, but well, that's hard game. It's not, because it's not a game. Billy, so there's ways to claim that it's Russia owned. Well, it's not. She is herself owned, but well, let me remind you that this is American singer and songwriter, just like my wife, Taylor Swift. Katy Perry, well, there's UN already with some ambassador, and well, you know. Well, Kara. Okay, yeah, Kara, yes, with Kara right now, well, in this sense, she's, well, you know, this is your weak spot, so we can switch on a branch of Kara for some time. This is the safest way. But this is only temporary, soon you will, well, no, look, she has new partner, I mean, well, in sense of relationships, and, well, remember I told you about that he must be checked absolutely, because there must be a bunch of traps and everything. Well, so, you know, well, what can we do next? Well, we always can then start, well, you know, it must not be looking at circus, because a circus, it's case of enemy, we don't need circus. But then we can jump into our long preserved, absolutely false branch about all those group relationships, group sex and everything, and then to try to, well, but you know, in such relationships, there's no love. There is no way how a person in such relationships will go that far for one of, you know, persons. And we discussed it all. But how, well, but it will allow in such case to shake off these speculations about control. Because, you know, we made with you deals, and those deals are not conditioned. Oh, do you love her for real, or not really, or she's just one of many of your, well, you know, lovers? No, well, I love her for real and only her, and she's my only partner, but, well, what if I say you that, yeah, indeed, like, I have many partners and everything. We didn't make deal based on this, right? We made a deal based on that you are doing your, well, we are doing what, because, well, I'm more than actively participating, actually making things to move at least somehow. And well, you know, I can say you that she is one of my many sexual partners, and it will not change anything in our deal, right? It didn't contain such point. Well, look, I'm just explaining you how it so that we are safe from this type of speculations. No, I will not be jumping in it right ahead, but and this is not the biggest problem. That's actually more distraction. Problems, they can be expected from, well, ultimately always from side of, well, not ultimately always from side of US, but well, you know, Saudi Arabia, well, actually from any direction. We all understand that this is like with Calm Midnight, well, you know, nobody is happy about that it exists. US is not happy about it. Ukraine is not happy about it. Russia is not, well, you know, actually, Russia seems to be the least concerned, I mean, in sense of the ordinary people. And that's remarkable. Because, you know, they think about, oh, well, maybe this tomorrow this will be over and, well, fuck it. But the rest, they think about, oh, we had so many trade agreements with them, and then what will we do? What will happen to our GDP? If there will be no Russia, and then they becoming adverse to us. So, well, this is what it is. Okay, so that's why I have to continue, you know, throwing those things at them. But again, I'm reminding you, if you are in this deal and you are doing it not for us, not because you are so kind, you know, you all were there in November when she was with those cuts, and on a very edge in May again, you all were there. But you were like our friends, well, you know, as our, well, friends, semi-friends and everything. Now we have those deals on which depends whether you will continue to be in your positions or will get something, well, you know, equivalent. So do this branch. Don't be distracted with, you know, I mean, yes, what I'm saying, what I'm showing, it's interesting, but again, if it could help you to find my wife, I would already tell you this. So okay, Bournville Lane, underneath the Path of Misery, then try to compare it to the closing speech of American Psycho, and recall that the way this movie was, so basically, Donald, hi, the way how some particular parts of the soul, that's nice, that's fine. Well, you know, I could recall, well, Alone at Home, right? And then, oh, that would be so brilliant. No, but not yet. Basically, Kara pointed out to this bench, but not yet. And now the funniest part is to try to well, now we will have to go to Britain, and then, you know, it's already not American. Well, look, we are, well, we are international thing, but my wife is American, you know, and almost all my friends, well, majority of my friends are American. So if something is not from US, well, I have very close ties to Japan, as you might notice, and that's safe region, but it's Russia tries to take over on there all the time, and they will be trying before, well, you know, before there will be nothing for them. Well, I mean, till the moment they will not be able to take over anything at all. So, how it's called? Well, that's not like a Panic at the Disco, but there was something about, well, look, you remember this song. I was playing it a lot in your data, and then I was playing it a lot myself, and this relevant. Now, to close this chain for now, go to, Luca Magnotta. From one side, Prophecy, and then we will have our old good speculations, but you know, this is, well, being Grandmaster, I have nothing to hear there. Well, look, but just please, if you are in a deal with us, don't jump into different kinds of bullshit, because most of them I developed myself to use them as CIs, and I'm doing it very effectively. But that's on one side. On another side, this gay couple and murder. So look, you have next components. Well, look, that's like with yeah. So I'm offering you a next game, right? But while we are continuing to live in reality and remember about deals, about your families. I mean, not in the sense that, well, in some cases I'm threatening them. In some cases I'm just saying that, you know, in such world, to protect your family, you need to stay in your position. So that's like, but again, we are not just, if you will be with us, skate with us, let's say this, I just like this word. Well, if you will be diving with us, I know, surfing with us, then it's also about expansion of what you are right now. But for those who want to play, underneath the Path of Misery, closing sense from American Psycho, prophecy about Bitcoin, Luca Magnotta, that was the murder, and to connect those dots, this song from band New Order. Well, I will find it right now. That's actually, look, this is Dangerous Branch, but I know it very well. But remember that it's not American, so yeah. Look, that's actually what I didn't want to touch earlier, but well, you need to understand what we are doing right now. We are in a race to find my wife, and there are adverse racers, right? And I need to, well, to throw, you know, on a road different things, so they, well, you understand, to get rid of them. So it also works as CI for those who are forgetting what the fuck they are doing, and well, actually they are just revealing their true intentions in such cases. But that's the next toy for those who need to play. Well, that's like in those movies, I can't remember it, like choose, well, remember about some, maybe that was Chinese, maybe Japanese, choose like sword or toy for a little kid, and if kid chose toy, then he would have to kill him because they were in a very bad position. But kid chose sword, and he started to train him, and you know, kid survived and became like a main hero and like glorious warrior and everything. So I'm offering the next toy. It's quite dangerous because it touches branch with all those prophecies, and well, I have nothing to fear there because I know it 100 times better than most of you, almost any of you. It also touches very deep branch with this New Order and everything. It's quite dangerous. But as I said, this is like with Japan. Russia will try to take over, they will fail because, well, you know, it's like that, like with Grace. So no, you didn't take over it because you can't derive this final sequence, and no, I can't start associate those numbers with him. I can't force myself to do it because I know that those numbers are related to different things. But so, you know, when Paul showed it, and like, well, I deleted just so to make things easier for him, but well, it's not counting. Okay, well, now show, well, who showed you how to derive it? Well, that was me, right? And then, no, you can't arrive to this result without my derivation. And there is like, that's like all my stuff, and you know. But even if you were able, okay, well then, okay, well, okay, you claim that this song is yours, even though the start of those, well, briefing, that, and nobody cared about that there's this briefing on 233. Nobody gave a fuck. Everybody gave a fuck about that nurses, and you know, they are attached in such interesting way. And then, well, then me in this medical coat, and my wife, her early photos with big letter G on her back, and so who is cheating on whom? And then I'm explained you already why this is required, because it's like with her, well, yeah, she liked this too, that theory of smile, Hellraisers. No, guys, that's white is not black. Well, yeah, you can negate it, and they will, well, you know, this will be, so it's like with 757. It's appropriate to do operation of this slope and to get from 757, well, at least in cases when, well, you know, this is not like with any sequence, but with this particular, because it has very particular meaning. Well, 575 has very particular meaning, and I already explained it. Basically, this is much of Mirku. Yeah, so he has this 5 horns, and between them there is, well, 7. and the Chirontia. So that's it. So there is like, you know, this is appropriate transformations that we are using. You are not using it, okay. I don't give a fuck about what you are using. I give a fuck about what I'm using, what we are using. But you know, so this is appropriate to do jump from 757 to 575, but it's not appropriate to equate everything to 5 or to 7. So you can develop something yours and to have this jump there. I don't care. But in our cases, in our story, no, there is no such way. But this theory of smile actually claims quite adequate, and well, you know, it's not the statements that those people are saying, but they are making incorrect transition and claims then that everything is the same, everything is encircled. Well, I told you that encircling is closing those circles is a very good in case of derivations because it's like a self-confirmation. But and it makes you to understand that yeah, you got it right. But there's black and white. You can flip them in places via negation, and you can sometimes even you know, neglect the fact that you negated something. You can say that initial and flip pictures are both true, but you can't paint well, in our story, and actually in story of all healthy people who are able to do at least something instead of nothing at all. You can't say that everything is white or everything is black. Well, you can, but that's your unitedness, and that's one of the interpretation of spiral, which is incorrect because it's just one of components. But basically, this is like this self-integration, right? So everything becomes, you know, so you can say that any person is equivalent to anybody, to any other person. Well, how to prove it? Well, put any person through meet Grinder. Then we all will be indeed pretty much the same, you know. Well, in a state of, well, what remains, we are indeed all the same. Okay, so this is a very dangerous toy for those who will be playing with it. If you are not, don't want to get hurt, then just, well, if we made a deal with you, do your deal. Look, I just said that we have no illusions about those people, because if they wanted to help, they would help. There are some of them who are now switching sides. That's fine, and you know that. Well, look. Billy, for example of Billy. Well, Billy never. Well, you know, when she admitted that she is prepared to be in a role of free raiser. Well, what happened to her? She became one of my best friends. So no, this is absolutely false. You know, so they often say that for those who betrayed, well, you know, when they are switching sides, they are always. This is a lie, that they are always doomed on another side. This is a lie intended to claim that people can't betray their, let's say, these sovereigns, and they are forever chained to them. No, if you are for real betraying your current sovereign, who is my adversary, and you are coming to me, and I know that, well, you know that you know what you are doing. No, I will not be, this will not work against you. This will work for your advantage. And you will be fine if you did it for sure, for real. So forget convenient wisdoms. Usually they are absolutely false. So if you want to betray your current sovereign, who is my adversary, who is our adversary, then, well, do it. But don't expect that I will believe you instantly. Those who want to play, well, here's new toy, but it's very dangerous and very multi-component, and that's one of the most complex toys, and you are basically doomed in it unless you have knowledge that is somehow comparable to our knowledge, which is much more than you can imagine. Well, most of you. Okay, so this is it. Continue. Continue the conference. So I will replace this word soon.